Love hurts, but in a good way. Huy Quan is having quite the renaissance. After finding fame as a child actor in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and The Goonies, he made scant appearances for a few years and disappeared from acting altogether from 2002 to 2021. Then, in 2022, he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it was as if Short Round and Data had never left us. Suddenly, he was hot, and he followed up with a great performance in Loki Season 2. After all those decades and an Oscar, he got what every actor strives for, the lead role in a movie. So what if that movie's a dumb, early February action movie with a scant 83-minute runtime? It's paycheck time, baby. It's hard to look at this movie and Kwan's career and not think of the story arc in Friends where Joey finally lands a lead role, but in a poorly funded movie. Except, Love Hurts actually got filmed, and for the bargain basement price of $18 million. Quan plays Marvin Gable, a realtor who used to be a hitman for his brother Knuckles, Daniel Wu. I hope you're laughing at that sentence because I did while I was typing it. One of the things I love about bad February action flicks is their absurd premises. Anyway, after an open house, Marvin returns to his office and we meet the two best characters in the film. The first character is Marvin's assistant, Ashley, played by Leo Tipton. Ashley's lost all love for her job and possibly life. Her cynicism is palpable, and only Marvin's childlike glee for the job keeps her from permanently quitting. The second character is Raven, played by Mustafa Shakir. Raven is a very large, very scary enforcer sent by Knuckles to pay Marvin a visit. Raven is also a poet. Yeah, I said poet. It's funny because he's also a killer. Get it? In the second act, Ashley meets Raven for the first time, finding him unconscious in Marvin's office. Thinking him dead, she picks up Raven's journal and is entranced by his poetry, describing death and violence, which she originally believes is just a metaphor. When Raven wakes, the two have an instant connection and justifies this movie being an early Valentine's Day release. Theirs is an insane bond, but it's also endearing in a morbidly fascinating kind of way, and it leads to some great action comedy at the end of the second act. It also makes a mockery of the relationship we're supposed to care about, the love between Marvin and Rose, played by Ariana DeBose, Knuckles' former accountant. The actual plot of this movie is that Rose has returned from the dead and Knuckles wants her found so he can kill her. In the past, Knuckles ordered Marvin to kill Rose for stealing from him, but Marvin's love for her made him stage her death. Also, Rose didn't steal Knuckles' money and she wants revenge on the guys who did. That's why Raven was sent to see Marvin. Don't think about it too hard, you'll only hurt yourself if you do. The film unfolds in very typical action movie format and, well, it's kind of fun. Really? Not the story, that's not fun at all. The story is so underdeveloped that calling it half-baked is giving it way too much credit. What's fun are the well-choreographed fight scenes and several of the characters. In addition to Raven and Ashley, Marvin himself is a very likable character. There are also two other lesser enforcers trying to find Rose, Otis, played by Andre Erickson, and King, Marshawn Lynch. The banter between Otis and King was very similar to the kinds found in a Matthew Vaughn film, and while not nearly as clever as what we get from Vaughn films, Otis and King's was still entertaining. And before you ask, yes, I did do a double take at realizing King was portrayed by that Marshawn Lynch. I wasn't sure why I recognized him until he literally yells out beast mode as he attempts a flying tackle of Marvin. Then I did a triple take when I realized Lynch gave a better performance than Wu, Cam Gigandet, who played Knuckles' second-in-command Rennie, and DeBose, Oscar Award-winning winner Ariana DeBose. That's not an exaggeration. DeBose gave a terrible performance. Like she was auditioning for the next Sharknado terrible. It didn't help that both Rose and the feelings between Marv and Rose were given practically no development whatsoever. But DeBose took what little she was given to work with and peed all over it. It was almost as if she was determined to cancel Kwan's earnest and sincere performance with an equal and opposite bomb. But the movie was still more fun than not. I've seen this kind of movie in 100 other films, so I focused more on the good characters and the fun, if not silly and slapsticky action, than I did on the crappy characters and a screenplay that was clearly edited with a chainsaw. And I love that Kwan is embracing every minute of his second life. The rating for this movie, ask for $4 back and another lead role for Kwan.